Now, if you clicked on this video, you might just be wondering like why you would actually ever fire a client. Because as a society, we've come from 9 to 5 jobs where we're the ones that get fired. We're not the ones that do the firing. And if you're an entrepreneur and you fire someone, what does that actually mean? And why would you do that? Because why would you want to get rid of money, right? And I used to wrestle with that idea early on, but as I grew my business, there were some legitimate reasons why I did fire a few people from working with me. And I think it's a healthy conversation to talk about, because if you see my past videos, you might know that I'm the retainer person. Like, I like to lock in contracts, not just one and done with people, but I like to build relationships and build commitments with my clients so that I can work with them in the long term and just have monthly retainers set up so that I don't have to worry about money. But there are times where something might happen that you didn't expect, whether it be on the payment side, communication side, whatever, and you realize I'm locked into a contract with somebody I don't want to work with anymore. So what do you do when that happens? Do you just suck it up and keep it going until the contract is done, even if you have a few more months of working with this person? Or do you figure out a way to get out of this contract, but then have to worry about the legal side? There is ways to actually go about this so that you're not sued, and you can free up your mental space from working with somebody who's probably really bothering you. Now, like I said, there are some legitimate reasons why you may want to fire somebody, and I want to give you what those reasons are, and then a way to actually, move forward with that if you actually want to fire a client. Now, this first one is pay, whether that be missed payments, late payments, whatever, anything that has to do with money. If a client is late but expects work out of you, even if in the contract it is clear that you are to be paid first before you give any services, that is one reason, and probably the first biggest reason I would ever fire somebody. Because I'm not here to do anything for free. I'm not here to do anything for collaboration. I'm not here for the homie hookup. I deserve to be paid for the services that I give. And if you're constantly late, if you're constantly trying to give me reasons why you're not paying on time, why you're not giving me the full amount, you're gone. I'm not even going to hesitate with that one. We're not even going to dialogue. If it happens more than once, and I'm seeing that habit being built, you're out of here. And I won't feel sorry about it. And this, again, is why it's important to have your policies very clear about when you are to be paid. Because if it's not written down, people feel like they can just do what they want with your money and with your time. If you don't tell somebody when the deposit is due and when the full amount is due, trust me, they will be pulling you along until they eventually have to pay. The second one will be disrespecting your policies. So whether that means that your client is being demanding of something that is not written in the contract, whether that means they're calling or texting or blowing your phone up past your designated business hours, not respecting your boundaries as a professional, these are reasons you want to get rid of somebody quick. And it's actually why I try not to build familiarity so quickly. Obviously, I always want to build rapport, but familiarity to me is different. I don't want to let you in so much so that you feel so comfortable that disrespecting me is okay. That is something I am not going to tolerate, and I'm just not going to do in my business model. Now, I know others who like to treat their clients like friends and buddies and stuff, which is fine. But it goes back to what I was saying. That's when people start paying you late. That's when they feel like they're comfortable to call you whenever they feel like it, or to demand something from you that your contract does not state, whether that be raw footage, whether that be additional revisions, the way somebody will demand of you because they feel comfortable talking to you any type of way is out the door. You're gone. The next would be unreasonable expectations. There have been people who have worked with me, and this is actually somebody I fired. She would have me show up on a set, and she would just kind of have me do everything when I was clearly hired just to film, just to edit. But she wasn't coming with any ideas. She wasn't coming with any shot lists, no scripts. She expected me to do everything. And it was not communicated that that was my role. Although I can do those things, but being a creative director, digital marketing, all that stuff, those are separate jobs. Yes, I'm able to do all of them. But if I am going to do those extra services for you, I will be compensated for such. And because I wasn't showing up with, okay, let me come with a bunch of ideas on what we can do. And she was just expecting and demanding and trying to pull all of this creativity out of me that I was not in the mood for, and we didn't communicate. Then our communication just fell out of whack. So I was just like, you know what? You take your money, the contract is void, and that's it. And I let that one go. But unrealistic expectations will bury you if you continue to just say yes to everything that they demand of you, especially if it's not written down. Like, respect yourself as a creative, but also respect that you shouldn't do every single thing for free. Yes, you might be able to film it, edit it, and post it on social media. But posting it on social media is a totally different job, and you should be compensated for that. Being a creative director, being a producer, all of those things, although one person can do them, if you're going to do it, make sure you're getting paid. Don't just have somebody expect you to do all those things because they hire you to film and edit. That doesn't make sense. The next one is a lack of professionalism. Like, this is something that I don't come into contact with very often. People just being rude and kind of blunt with their words, but it is out there. And a lot of people feel like they can devalue you because they make more money than us. And that's not okay. Like, you should never tolerate anybody talking to you upside down and backwards because they feel like you're lower than them in any regard. This next one is scope creeping. When somebody has extra work outside of the scope of work that you had. So if I had, for example, I'm going to film you from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm going to edit a 1-minute video and I'm going to turn it around within 24 hours or 48 hours with no revisions. They're creeping in. If you deliver that video, the first thing is they might want you to stay later outside of your scope of work, right? They may want you to stay to 9 to 10. The second thing, you're going to turn around a 1-minute video. Now they want a 2 to 3 with some raw footage. They're creeping, like they're slowly creeping, adding little stuff in that you didn't agree to. And the no revisions part, people will keep asking for more revisions, more little stuff, even if it's small. When I say one revision only, it's so that they can give me all of their notes at once, not they watch 10 seconds of the video and then start sending you notes. You thinking that's the only note for the video, you edit it, turn it around, and they got like 7 or 8 different things because they finally watched the entire thing. Make sure that you are compensated if you have to go back to your computer, cut it on, re-upload, re-export, make all these changes, especially if it's eating up a lot of your time. Like, do not do all of this stuff for free. Scope creeping is real. I would say another one is like legal concerns or ethical concerns. I've had people who want me to just throw my drone up in the air, even though it's a no-fly zone, or to film somewhere that I'm obviously not able to film because they wouldn't be doing it. I would be doing it. And I don't want anybody continually berating me, asking me to do something that I know is illegal and that I would get fined or a ticket or some type of legal action for. Because better believe I'm passing some of that lawsuit onto whoever asked me to do that illegal activity. But that's why I don't do it. Like, I'll make sure I look up a flight path. I'm looking up my maps. I'm looking at permits if necessary, because I'm not trying to get sued or get a ticket or any type of legal action just because somebody wants a shot. And I've had one person continue to try push me. Funny story, I actually had somebody who was trying to continually push me to get a drone shot while I was on site for his shoot. And I literally packed up my stuff and left. Like, I'm not about to be pushed into getting a shot I don't feel comfortable getting because I know it's illegal. Being a Part 107 drone operator, I know it. I know the law. And you trying to continually push me and just like, oh, it's just for a couple of seconds. Like, no, the FAA has all of my information. The second my drone goes in the air, like, they can see what I'm doing. And I'm not okay with that. So yeah, that's something that somebody's out of there if they try to do that for me. Poor communication, of course, is one. Nobody wants to continually work with somebody who doesn't have the time to talk with you. I do work with a lot of busy people, and sometimes I have to really sit there and educate them on how I operate my business. And if they don't have time to respond with me or to me, I don't have time to work with them. And that's just plain and simple. I don't want to deliver a bad product. And I love my reputation. I love having a great reputation in my industry. And I want to keep that. And the only way to keep that is to open communication up clear and concise so that I know what I'm shooting, I know what I'm editing, and they know what they're getting. I don't want any surprises. And this would probably be a really good one is if your visions aren't aligned. Like, when somebody hires me, I make sure that I tell them that I'm going to shoot and edit it in my style. Like, I know that you've probably been on Pinterest, you've probably been on Instagram all day, and you're motivated by all of these different videos. But if it's a style that I cannot do, it's going to lead you to being unsatisfied. Despite my best efforts, you're not going to like it because there are certain styles of filming and editing that's just different. And if I don't have the equipment, if I don't have the know-how, the knowledge, or the experience of doing it that way, it's not going to come out how you saw it, because I'm pretty sure whoever shot it and edited that thing had some time in, they got their reps in, and now that's their niche, and it's not mine. So if you need clarity, look at my portfolio. This is what I can do, or I'll straight up tell somebody, yes, I can do that, or no, I can't. And I'm okay with losing a job, because I don't want my best efforts to be spit on because our visions didn't line up. And you will burn yourself out trying to work with somebody just to get a paycheck when you obviously know they're not going to be happy with your best work. Like, if this is the best I can do and you are just never happy with it, I'm sorry, but I got to let you go. Like, as much as I enjoy paying my bills and having a little extra money to spend, it is not worth my peace. Now, as far as the legal side, you want to have like a disengagement letter or a client termination letter. This is basically like the legal, what's the word? The legal equivalent of a contract. You're basically sending them or giving them a letter documented that you will no longer be continuing to work with them because of XYZ reason. You give them the date, time. They don't need to sign it, but you signed it. And you can clearly state if they would like a refund, or if you will only be continuing the following remaining services. And when those are done, that's it. Because obviously you don't want to leave the relationship with any money owed to them. Like, if they bought a certain amount of videos from you, you can't leave like they have 3 videos left unless you give them the refund equivalent to those 3 videos. And although nobody likes to burn a bridge in our industry, it just does happen. You know, like I mentioned before, there are a ton of reasons why you may want to fire someone or just not work with them anymore. And that is okay. It does happen. It doesn't mean that you're terrible at your business. It doesn't mean that maybe this is not for you. Sometimes it's just a personality conflict. Sometimes it just does not line up, and that's okay. I can't work with everybody, and I'm totally fine with that. Not everybody can work with me, and I'm totally fine with that. But this idea that we are meant to do every type of industry, we're meant to cover every base, we're meant to work with every person, that's just not true. And you will just drive yourself crazy feeling like you're not getting along with people when in fact you just didn't get along with that specific person. Sometimes in this business, it is a real grind to actually find your people. Just like friendships. Like, I don't know, I have a handful of friends, but it took a long time for me to actually find my people. And if you feel like you haven't found your people yet, you just haven't met enough people. So just keep networking, keep getting those calls, keep sending out DMs and emails and however you network. But just know that when you find the right group of people for your business is going to flourish and it's going to feel light. You're not going to feel like this heavy weight every time you have to go to work. But I hope this was super helpful. I hope it gave you some clear insight on what you can expect if you actually have to fire a client, because it might happen. But overall, I hope it doesn't happen to you and that everybody you work with is amazing. But keep sending those questions, guys. Keep writing them down in the comments what you want to see next. And I'll be sure to try to knock these videos out as soon as I can. But of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.